Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Peter Kennedy's Garage. What we have today is a 2014 Mercedes E-Class. We have these messages on the dash: collision prevention assist. We have the right rear malfunction. I'm just after grabbing a scan tool. Actually, no, I'm going to continue on. The girl that was driving it said that she felt power steering and a good few lights came on the dash. Also, she said that she had both that traction control and that traction control lights come on, and I'm after being called out onto the side of the road to look at it. Now, I'm trying to try and get rid of the glare, but sure, look, I can't do too much about it. Apologies. I'm just looking. I'm going to start at the top and start running down. Communication with control module, communication with battery control module, air conditioning control module, central gateway module, Parktronic malfunction, communication with instrument cluster, communication with electronic ignition lock, supplementary restraints, steering column with control unit suspension has a malfunction, communication with ESP, that's all in engine management. Transmission, then we have communication with front signal acquisition, is it? Communication with instrument cluster, ESP, central gateway, air conditioning, steering control module, pretty much all the same things what we had. Instrument cluster, no CAN message received from control unit, no CAN message received from control unit, software version too old, CAN message from control unit is faulty, power supply of unit 15 is not okay. Okay, what module is that? Anti-lock brakes. Is that only talking about itself? Control unit, software version too old, and then power supply of circuit 15 is not okay. Could we have an ABS issue? Looks like there's going to be something pulling this CAN signal down or affecting it somewhere. Water ingress or something. Power supply too low, signal amplitude is less than the minimum amplitude. Central gateway has a malfunction. There are loads and loads. The door locks are okay, yay. Everything else kind of gone kibosh on me. Communication control unit, traction system, okay, so that's going to be, looks like nearly ABS. Steering control unit, engine combustion has malfunction, there's general error, transmission, traction control, traction. Communication with control unit battery has malfunction, ignition lock, headlight control unit, is it no? Communication with the control unit combustion engine, ESP, control unit suspension, central gateway, instrument cluster, steering lock. Kind of seems to be the same stuff repetitively. We're just going to have a mad CAN communication fault here. I think I'm going to clear these out. We'll keep on going for a second. Reversal emergency tension or airbag, that's no CAN message. No communication with engine module in SCR. Ah, right, hey, we have another 3 or 4 modules that are happy. Interesting actually to figure out and look at a wiring diagram and see what are these modules using a different form of communication, as in LIN or low speed or something like that. I'm going to get back out of there. Clear all codes. It's a Saturday and I'm out to have a look at this thing. Girl thought she couldn't drive it, so I'm stopped just to see what the story is. See, what we're going to do is I'm clearing faults now, as you saw, and when I'm clearing faults, the reason for it is I'm trying to see will one of these modules give out about communication to start with, and or it might get her moving maybe. I didn't test drive it yet, but I will have to go and do some kind of a test drive. Once we have a couple of faults gone, we'll have another look and see what we're up against, okay? Okay guys, this thing has detected 40 modules in it and cleared faults in 40 of them. So we have no engine transmission faults, but straight away we can see here that we have 4 in anti-lock brakes. That's kind of a funny one. The software version of control unit is too old. CAN message from control unit is faulty. CAN message was received. No CAN message was received from control unit, but I don't know which control unit these ones are talking about. Anyway, 4 of them saved are stored in here. On the way down the line, seem to be quite good from there down. It's saving. In electric power steering here, I can see we have control unit combustion engine has a malfunction. The communication has malfunction. Communication with control unit transmission has a malfunction. And this is the bit I'm kind of interested in here. Communication with control unit traction system has a malfunction, and implausible data was received from control unit traction system. That's kind of like our ABS that we were looking at just a few moments ago. Don't really, well, there's actually an interesting one as well, maybe, because I have seen only a week or so ago Ivan from Pine Hollow doing a battery or parasitic draw video on something, and the siren seemingly for the alarm has a battery inside them, and the car was trying to charge this battery. Not that I'm saying that's what we're going to have. What I'm saying is it could be affecting something, and he said that they can be in where there's water and underneath the wipers maybe, or some of them places. So maybe, you never know, might be worth a look as well. Keep in mind, from there on down we're okay. So the alarm, siren, traction control, transmission and engine, and the 4 that we have in ABS. That's where I'm going to probably start looking at wiring diagram and try and focus my attention in on this and what way some of these things are tied together. Right, I'll do a bit of homework and I'll get back on. Okay guys, we have this Mercedes E-Class in the workshop, and gosh, I was just going to show you. You can see that collision prevention assist plus inoperative. Okay, now what we're going to do, I think we're going to jump on this collision prevention assist fault first. Honestly, I don't know where to start. I've been looking at wiring diagrams and stuff, and we don't know what module to go on to, because it's pulling every module offline and giving out about CAN communication with every module. So I haven't got a clue basically of what module to go looking at first or where to go. Have the scope up and running. Actually, tis the Pico. Alan was down there, and Alan recorded a waveform, but what we're going after is that collision prevention assist. So I'm using my head to start with, and I'll show you why I'm using my head and the customer's information about the collision prevention assist to go attacking this. I could be wrong, but this is where we're at this point in time. I'm going to show you what so far we've found. Okay, so we're up in the air, but I'm going to jump down and continue again. Now, collision prevention assist is happening from a radar that's in here. And what we decided to do to start with was just get in and have a look at it. Okay, the radar sensor is sitting there. Now it lives in a little packet up here in behind the bumper, but that's where we have got in just to have a little look here, look at wires. What we do have, if you can hear that, we have a jingle of some sort in there, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if that is correct or not. But I have a rattle, and I don't really like the rattle inside that. Now, also, we have just, as I said there, Alan from Diagnostics. He'll be here in a second. He's only over inside in our office there. If we're looking, CAN bus anyway, from what knowledge I have, this is, dare I say, a slight little bit complicated, but anyway, from what knowledge I have of CAN bus, we should be seeing what I believe is a 2.5 volt bias, okay? So we're saying that 2.5 we should have in the middle, and one of the CAN low then, one of the lines, CAN low has been pulled from 2.5 down to 1.5. CAN high then has been pulled from 2.5 to 3.5. This is my belief at this point in time. Now, I know these yokes, Mercedes being Mercedes, and I'll show you the wiring diagram, they're kind of crackers. Modules everywhere and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. We do not know. What we have done, I'm going to go back to that there in a second. What we have done in the electronic stability program, when we disconnected that collision prevention assist module, we had no message from it. No message from it. No message from it. When we were pulling and jingling out of that module, I got the CAN line has an open circuit. After that point, I heard a bing bong inside in the car. We started getting back loads of faults. We had only those 3 faults to start with. Now, where we're at right now, there's Alan from Dacia.
How you on?
Yeah, what we're looking at, we're looking at voltage. What's jumping out at me and our Alan, and I could be wrong, is we have 1.5 being pulled lower on our red channel. So it's 1.5 volts being pulled down to 0.5 or 0.6 of a volt. Our belief is that's going to be wrong. Up here on the blue channel then we have it going from 2.5 up to 3.5. But I think we're going to have some form of issue here. We believe this is too low. That's what we believe anyway, right now at this point in time. So I don't know whether we're going to be crackers or right or wrong, or I don't know. We're basically, this is only yet been recorded and it's a screenshot now being held. So we're going to start maybe having a look again. I actually think I turned off the ignition, but I'll start looking again and we'll just see where we're at. And that's where we're standing right now, on the pretext and hope that we're on the right track. We're up and running again. We're getting what do you call that? Catching a signal, but we're seeing like 1.5 down lower. It's going down to nearly, I think it's about 0.5 of a volt. We just think that that's too low. Now what Alan is going to do, Alan is actually pulling out disconnecting the collision prevention assist module. We can see what happens. It's an awkward joke to do, to be honest. Okay, right, that didn't change anything here anyway. That's not saying that, but maybe in some weird terms we're wrong, but I don't know. I don't think so, if the truth be told. We're still seeing the same voltage. Look, I'm gonna, I don't know, reconnect. See where we go from there. Okay guys, you're only getting the synopsis kind of here, or whatever bits of information. Right now I'm just after unplugging that again, clearing faults. And after clearing faults, I'm doing a code scan again. That's what's that. I actually went in, we have a breakout box here, plugged into the DL16 down below. We're back probing, as you normally know, the CAN high and CAN low scan module stuck here, running over there. And that's where we're looking at this CAN signal, and that's at the same voltage. So that is 1.5 being pulled down to 0.5 volt. Now what we do also see in theory is this slight discrepancy on our bias voltage here that we believe is too low. But you can kind of see on that line we can see discrepancies. I'm not too worried about any of these little bits because once they're mirror images of each other, I'm believing that there's no issue. So this little spike and that little spike, I don't mind about, because in theory they're, again, mirror images of each other. So just on that sense, I'm not worried about that stuff, but I am worried about that voltage. I just don't like that. I believe that should be up there. The red and the blue line should be sitting on top of each other. Now, bear, I'm not familiar with something that's going on here. Is it like a K line or some weird communication form that Mercedes use? Because there's a lot of stuff in this yoke. Hard to understand, and you have to start jizzing yourself in and thinking, when you're not hugely familiar with the model of car and stuff, what the heck is going on here? So maybe we'll go back. We're thinking even that we might just do belief. With master and a slave, we're thinking it's ABS and engine management. Might just do a resistance check, close the doors, let the car go to sleep. When it stops communicating, at that point in time, we can do a resistance check on the lines and just see. Maybe we go back to basics, get rid of that, and go with a multimeter, just to see what we're going to find. Don't know, can't point right now. This is probably not going to be the easiest one to find, as you're going to probably see in the video that it's not going to be, oh, do this, and do this. It's not going to be that with me. This is going to be one that's either going to beat me or I'll fix. So then, because of that, the record is going to be a little bit maybe higgledy-piggledy, okay? Hopefully we'll find something. Hopefully I'll give you good news in a little while, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a resistance check. I'm going to shut it down, then I'll go to sleep, and then, yeah, see where we end up. With the car gone to sleep, because of the gateway module, we're not looking at the resistance here. We have looked at it, and we have 60 ohms of resistance here. And then we said we'd go off. I don't think you can do this going through a gateway module. It's my gist of a thought. Anyway, neither here nor there. I believe I'm correct, but I don't know. So what we're doing is we're back probing here on the CAN signals from the actual collision prevention assist module, which is where? It's here. Alan has her. You'll hear it in more detail now. That noise. Now, I don't know if that noise is correct or incorrect, but it just doesn't sound right or doesn't sound nice. Anyway, at this point in time, if we're looking, we have 59.9, 60 ohms of resistance, we're going to call it, at that point in time, or this point in time in here. Now, so we're back probing the CAN wires here at the block connector behind the bumper that's for the collision prevention assist. 60 ohms, okay, what we should have too. So Alan is going to plug in our, here actually load on the one shot, if I can.
Ready?
Yep.
Plug.
The minute we plug it in, we're dropping to 57.3 ohms. If we disconnect it, we're back to 60. If we plug it in, we're back to 57.3. So the long and short of it, lads, is what we're going to call, whether we're right or wrong, we don't know, but we're going to call it that that's wrong. We're kind of nearly stopped now. I'm blaming that. I'm getting one of them, and then we're going to see where we end up. Okay? That's where we're at now, boys. We'll find out when we get one. The thing we're at doing, lads, is we'd have to go to sleep. We're looking at the CAN lines, and we just plugged in the module on the off chance that plugging in that module yesterday with my resistance ohm meter, multimeter, whatever on it, might wake up the CAN lines, but it hasn't. So when it hasn't, look, that's it. There's no power, no ground coming to it. It's not affecting the CAN lines, and the resistance is changing. It's the module. Okay, guys, one last test that I want to do. I have ordered one of these items on eBay. Same numbers, all that kind of stuff. Don't know if that's right or wrong with the rattling. I've disconnected it. So I said by disconnecting it, what I'm going to get is, in my mindset, I'm going to get everything is going to give out about not being able to communicate with the collision prevention assist module or the radar sensor, but I'm hoping that everything else will, in theory, not have any communication faults. So hopefully now, fingers crossed, I'm going to give it a drive and just see what way it reacts, and hopefully faults will stay away for us at this point. Okay, guys, sorry about the glare. I'm outside again. I have done a 15-minute drive in this thing with the radar sensor disconnected out of it. I'm just after doing a code scan, and what I'm seeing here is I'm getting no faults at this point, only at the 10-minute drive. In most of these, might be worth getting rid of at some stage, but just doesn't seem to be our problem at this stage. Communication with the alarm siren has malfunctioned. Yeah, I don't know. The proof of the pudding is this thing is going out on the road for a couple of days, week, whatever it may be, while I'm waiting for the module for the module to come. As I said there, it's on eBay. Fingers crossed. I don't know what half these modules on these yokes are for. When I see this crack XALWA/R and the same thing here /L, God knows, I haven't a clue. I don't need to know. What I do need to know though is if they're not going to have any communication issues moving forward with our radar sensor gone out of the equation. Hopefully, is, as we're saying here, it's that, and hopefully there's enough proof in our 60 ohms of resistance when the thing is asleep going down to 57 the minute that module is connected in. So anyway, get out for a day or two on the road in a couple of days, see where we end up. Okay, fingers crossed, as we said. The driving is fine of it now. I do have message on the dash, collision prevention assist, which we know of, but I do also get a SOS inoperative. It's not coming up there now. So whether SOS is, it uses that radar sensor to acknowledge there's been an impact for something or crack or whatever the heck, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm getting on the dash. But other than that, car's driving the finest. Not getting stuck, not getting stopped. Driving for a couple more days, see where we end up again. Hopefully this module will land and we get something sorted then.